In this class we are going to understand pseudocodes. Okay, so different problems, how to solve using what pseudocodes, that is what we are going to understand in this particular class. Okay, first problem is like this: write a pseudocode to calculate addition, subtraction, multiplication and division of what? Two numbers. The numbers are what? 10 and 4. Okay, for these two numbers we have to calculate addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. So how to write the pseudocode? Pseudocode always should start with what? Start. Okay, now how many variables are required to calculate this particular pseudocode? Okay, in the problem two values are given, that is what? 10 and 4. To store this 10 and 4 we takes two variables. So we store 10 into A and 4 into what? B. Therefore two variables that are required in the pseudocode, A and B. Okay, then after adding these two numbers, the addition result we have to store into what? Add variable, and the subtraction result of A minus B store in what? Subtraction variable, and similarly multiplication of A and B store into what? Multiplication, and division of A and B we store in what? Division variable. So like this, total 6 variables are required for this particular thing. Okay, so A and B stores 10 and 4, and add stores addition of A plus B, subtraction stores, sub stores A minus B. Sorry, the sub you got two times, let's say that. Okay, subtraction. Multiplication stores A minus B, and division stores what? A divided by B. Okay, like this, first of all you have to create all variables that are required in the pseudocode. Okay, then start here. Now store the values into variables first. Okay, first step is what? Store the values into variables. That is 10 and 4 I store into the variable. A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 4. So I store 10 into A and B is equal to 4. This is the first step. After storing, then you have to write what? Calculation steps. The calculation steps, you can see that addition is equal to A plus B, subtraction is equal to A minus B, multiplication is equal to A multiplied by B, division is equal to A divided by B, the calculation steps. Okay, then print the result. This is what we are printing the result. Add is equal to add value, subtraction is equal to, this is the description. Okay, this is a description. Addition is equal to add value, you will get something called as 14. Then subtraction is equal to, the subtraction value that you are going to get is what? 4. Then multiplication is equal to multiplication 40. Division is equal to division variable value you are going to get, that is what we called as okay, division is what? 2.5. 10 divided by 4 is what? 2.5. Okay, that will be printed here. Is that clear? So this is how you are going to write the pseudocode. So let me tell you please. First of all variables we have created, then store the values. The given values you have to store into the variables. Okay, then you calculate addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, like this. Whatever the calculations are required in the problem, that calculations you have to perform. Then finally you have to print the results of all calculated variables. Okay, this is how you write the pseudocode. Now let me show you how can we write the output. Okay, after writing the pseudocode, what you need to do here it is, right? Let me show you. This is what? Memory. So after writing the pseudocode, what you need to do please? You have to create the memory. This is what we call as memory please. Okay, memory. The memory contains addresses 101, 102, okay, 103, like this addresses will be there. Now after writing the pseudocode, you run the pseudocode. Start. First one is variable A, B, add, sub, multiplication, division. These variables are created inside the memory. How they will be created? Let me show you. So one cell is given a name called as what? A. Another cell is given a name called as what? B. Another cell is given a name called as what? Add. Here another cell is given a name called as what? Subtraction. Similarly a cell is given a name called as what? Multiplication, and what? Division. Like this the variables are created in the memory. Okay, then next one, A is equal to 10, means in the memory A is stored with what? 10. Then B is equal to 4, means B variable is stored with what? 4. Then addition is equal to A plus B, so add is stored with what? A plus B. So A is 10, B is 4, 10 plus 4, 14. 14 stores into what? Add variable. Therefore add variable is equal to 14. Okay, similarly A minus B stores into sub variable, A multiplied by stores into multiplication, A divided by B stores into division. So what is the subtraction is 6, multiplication is 40, and division is what? 2.5. okay, 2.5 is going to store. Okay, right. And finally it is going to print the result. See, add is equal to add. Now add is going to print on the monitor. This is output. Output means it prints on the screen. Okay, it output means results on screen or what, monitor. So it will print add is equal to add. What's the add value is? Add value is 14. Therefore add is equal to 14. It will print. See here, add is equal to 14. Print is going to print these particular results on the screen or monitor. Okay, so add is equal to 14. It will print here. Then subtraction is equal to subtraction. Sub is equal to subtraction value is how much? 6. It is going to print on the monitor. Similarly, multiplication and division values it will print on the monitor like this. Okay, this is how you write what? Pseudocode. Clear? Let us understand another program now, another problem that we are going to study here. So write a pseudocode to calculate square and cube of a number. Number is 5. So for this particular 5 number, you have to calculate square and what? Cube. So let us start writing the pseudocode. Start. First step is what? Variables creation. So how to create the variables? How many variables are required in this particular problem to calculate square and cube? First of all, the given value you have to store into the variable. So as only one number is present, only one value is present, I will take the variable as what? N. Okay, that is what my just practice. Okay, my practice is for only one value I take what? N. Okay, so to store this particular 5 into the variable, I am taking N here. Okay, and on this particular 5 you calculate what? Square and cube. Therefore the 5 square, nothing but the N square, I store into square variable, and N cube calculated result I store into cube variable. Okay, therefore total variables required is what? 3 variables. So N is stored with 5, and whose square is stored into this variable, and whose cube of N is stored into what? Cube variable. Okay, so variables created. Then we store the value. What is the N is equal to? 5. Store the value. The given value you store into the variable. Therefore here I am storing N is equal to 5. Okay, after storing you calculate now. Square is equal to what? N into N. Like this you have to write. Don't put the cross mark. Okay, so in programming generally we use the star. Okay, asterisk. So square is equal to N into N, and cube is equal to N into N into N. Okay, so therefore square is calculated, cube is calculated, and we print the square is equal to square and cube is equal to cube. Then stop. Okay, now how this particular algorithm will run with the help of memory, let me explain. So let's say that once again I will take the memory. Assume that this is what the memory. Memory is a collection of cells once again. Okay, this is what we called as memory. Okay, now what I am going to do here, it is I am going to now execute the pseudocode, and I am going to show you what happens in the memory and what is the output that you are going to get on the screen. Okay, let us see here. Start variable N, square and cube. Therefore in the memory, one cell is given name called as what? N. Another cell is given name called as what? Square. Okay, another cell is given name called as what? Cube. Like this variables are created, right? Then after creating the variables in the memory, now N is stored with what? 5. N is assigned with what? 5. So therefore N is stored with 5. Then we'll calculate square is equal to N into N. N is equal to how much? 5. Therefore 5 into 5 is 25. 25 stores into square. Like this it is going to store 25. Then cube is equal to N into N into N, means 5 into 5 into 5 is 20. 125 stores into cube. Therefore cube is equal to 125. Then print square is equal to square and cube is equal to cube. It will print on the monitor. Square is equal to 25 and cube is equal to 125. Therefore you will get on the monitor that square is equal to 25 and cube is equal to 125. This is the output that you are getting on the monitor. Okay, so this is how you are going to get the results on the monitor. And remember please, pseudocodes will not execute in the computer. Just we are writing the answer of this particular pseudocode. What is the answer that you will get and what happens in the memory, so that it will be very useful when we write the programs. Okay, later on. Okay, fine. Now the third problem we are going to understand please, that is what? Write a pseudocode to calculate area of a triangle where base is equal to 2.5 and height is equal to 3.6. Let us say this one now. So there is a formula present for area of a triangle. What is the area of a triangle? Area is equal to half into, okay, sorry, half into, okay, base into height. Okay, this is the formula. So in this formula we have to know the values of base and height, then only we can calculate what? Area. So therefore I am giving the base value and height value. Base is equal to 2.5 and height is equal to 3.6. Okay, now using this formula you have to calculate area of a triangle. Got it? So in this formula how many variables are required? three variables are required. One is area, next one is base, next one is height. What is 0.5? 0.5 is a constant value that never changes. Okay, so therefore for this constant value you should not take the variable. Okay, so therefore start variables. How many variables are required? Base, height and what? Area. Now out of this particular three variables, to which variables you have to store the values? Base and height, and you have to calculate what? Area. Therefore I am storing the values. Base is equal to 2.5, height is equal to 3.6 as given in the problem. Okay, if you want you can take your own values also, there is no problem. Okay, so first of all create the variables, then store the values into the variables, then calculate area is equal to half into base into height. Now we are calculating this particular area. Finally we print. I am writing the description, elaborated description here. Area of triangle is equal to area. I am printing on the monitor. Okay, so this is what happens. Let us understand the memory diagram for this particular pseudocode also. Assume that this is what the memory diagram, this is what the memory. Assume that memory addresses will be there 101, 102, 103 and so on. Okay, now in this case what I am going to do here, it is right. Now what I do here is I will run this pseudocode and see what is the output you are going to get. Okay, first of all variables are created, variables base, height and what? Area. So one cell is given a name called as what? Base. This is what is. Okay, then height is another variable. This assume that this particular cell is given a name called as what? Height, and another cell is given called as what? Area. Like this, first of all variables are created in the memory. After that base is stored with 2.5, height is equal to 3.6. Base is equal to 2.5, height is equal to 3.6, it will store. Then area is equal to half into base into height. That is what this will calculate this particular formula, and the result will be stored into what? Area. So area is equal to some calculation answer, that is 4.5, it will store. Then print area of a triangle is equal to area. So you will get the output on the monitor that area of a triangle is equal to area answer. The area answer is what? 4.5, it will print on the monitor. Okay, right. Then I am going to explain about another one, that is what? Write a pseudocode to calculate bonus on salary, where salary is equal to 10,000 and bonus is equal to 30% on salary. Okay, so let us say that. So if the salary is 10,000 and bonus we have to calculate 30% on salary, means 30% on 10,000. How you calculate the percentages? That is what I would like to explain here. How to calculate the percentages? Bonus is equal to 30 by 100 into salary. So 30% means how you write? 30% means how you write? 30 by 100 into salary. Or you can also write the formula. Bonus is equal to 30 by 100 is how much? 0.30, or you can write 0.3 also. Okay, but we write like this, multiplied by salary. So you can use either this formula or this formula, any formula you can write. Okay, therefore how many variables are required in this problem? Bonus and what? Salary. Therefore start. Now we are going to create first of all variables. Okay, so the two variables that are required is salary and what? Bonus, where salary is equal to 10,000 and bonus is equal to 30%, I mean 30 by 100 into salary. Okay, then print bonus is equal to bonus. So therefore what the bonus it will print? Here it is going to print what? 3,000 rupees. Okay, so memory diagram I am not giving, you have to understand this particular thing, right? Similar to that, another problem that I am going to explain now. Write a pseudocode to calculate simple interest. Okay, what's the formula of simple interest? SI is equal to, simple interest is equal to P into T into R divided by 100. What is a P? P means principal amount. Okay, principal amount, and T is equal to what? Time, and R is equal to what? Rate of interest. Okay, SI is equal to simple interest. Clear? Now means where I am going to give the values. P is equal to 20,000. So principal amount is how much? 20,000, and time is equal to 5 years. Time is equal to 5 years, and rate of interest is 2.5 rate of interest. So how to calculate the interest for this particular values? Okay, simple. Start. Now we have to first of all create the variables. Variables we are creating. Variables, right? Let's say that variables simple interest P, T and R, where P is equal to 20,000 is given here, 20,000 stored, where T is equal to time is equal to 5 years, 5 is stored, and rate of interest is 2.5, so 2.5 is stored, and the formula we are writing SI is equal to P into T into R total divided by 100. Okay, Now it will calculate the simple interest. Now we printed the result on the monitor that simple interest is equal to simple interest. So what's the output you'll get? Simple interest is equal to, if you calculate this one, you'll get what? 2500. So simple interest is what? 2500 for 5 years. Okay. This is how can we write the pseudocodes. Now these are the practice problems I am giving. You have to write yourself. Okay. So write a pseudocode to calculate area of circle and perimeter of circle where radius is equal to 3.5. So for this radius you have to calculate area of circle and perimeter of circle. So what the formulas? Area of circle area is equal to pi r square. Pi means 3.14 into radius. R means what? Radius. Okay. Pi r square. This is what? Perimeter. How to calculate perimeter? Perimeter means 2 pi r. 2 into pi means 3.14 into radius. Okay. So you have to write the pseudocode for this one. Similarly, write a pseudocode to calculate a plus b whole square. You have to calculate where a is equal to 2 and b is equal to 5. Okay. Let's say that. Now how to write the formula? C is equal to, the answer will store in C variable. Okay. C is equal to a into a square, plus b into b square, plus 2 into a into b. We have to write the formula very clearly. Okay. So it will calculate a plus b whole square and the result will be stored into C. Now C you have to print on the monitor. Okay. Right. Similarly, write a pseudocode to calculate electricity bill. Electricity bill you have to calculate. Okay. How you calculate? Let's say that previous month meter reading, electricity meter reading was what? 1000 units. Assume 1000 units. Okay. Then current reading means the present month reading is what? 1300. Previous month what? Previous month reading was 1000 units and current month read what? 1300 units. Therefore, total units consumed how much? How many units consumed here? Current reading means 1300 minus what? Previous reading. What the previous reading is? 1000. So 1300 minus 1000 is nothing but 300. You will get current total units consumed. Okay. Then per unit cost is equal to 5 rupees. 1 unit cost is 5 rupees. Therefore, we have to calculate the bill. The bill formula is total units consumed. The total units consumed multiplied by per unit cost. Okay. So now you have to print how much total units you got and how much bill that is calculated. These two values you have to print on the monitor. Okay. These three problems you have to solve. Is it okay? Fine.